Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Into the life of a young man named Jamie Louis Severance, who kept a diary.
Okay.
Before and after a traumatic brain injury.
Wow.
And it's...
So this is like a before and after kind of thing?
Yeah, it really is the before and after. And we have his diary,
which
spans from June of 2006 to June of 2007.
Oh, wow. So a whole year.
A whole year.
Before and after.
Yeah, before his accident, through his time at Crotch Mountain Rehabilitation Center.
What's that?
That's CMRC.
Okay.
And his return to everyday life.
Okay.
And it is quite a journey.
I bet.
So, we're going to start in his pre-accident life.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of get to know Jamie.
Okay.
Before the accident.
All right.
And I think that's really important because...
Yeah, I think that's always a really important part of this, to like kind of establish like a baseline of like who this person was like before anything happened.
Right. And we really get a sense of who Jamie is.
Okay.
And so we can see the impact that the traumatic brain injury had.
Yeah, how it changed him.
Yeah, and how he changed and how he adapted.
Yeah.
So, what's so fascinating about Jamie's diary is that it really unveils the emotional and social impact of a brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that's often overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, you just think about the physical, like, right? Like the broken bones or, the coma.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really think about like, oh, how's that going to change who you are as a person?
Exactly. And that's what this diary really lets us see.
Wow.
So we need to start with who Jamie was before the accident.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
And he seemed like a pretty typical teenager. He was really into paintball.
Okay.
He had a close group of friends.
Yeah.
He had a job at a local grocery store.
That's cool.
But there are these little details in the diary.
Oh, I love the little details.
That really paint a picture of his character.
Okay.
For example, he ran cross country.
Oh, wow.
And he was really into fitness.
Okay.
There's even this one entry where he describes running 7 miles.
7 miles.
In hiking boots while eating a burger.
What? I know! In hiking boots?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And eating a burger.
And eating a burger, what?
That's our Jamie.
Wow. He must have been like really physically fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And strong.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Gosh, that's wild. And that detail, it makes me think about, the challenges he's going to face later on.
Yeah.
With the physical therapy and everything.
Absolutely. It's going to be quite the contrast.
Right.
And another detail that really jumped out at me was this crush that he had.
Oh, little high school crush.
On his friend Roxy.
Oh.
And he even planned this whole romantic gesture for her.
Oh, that's so cute.
At the Deerfield Fair. Complete with a plushie and a poem he wrote himself.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
I know. I love that. So that shows, like, he's a really sensitive guy.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of, like, a teenage boy that's really into paintball and running.
Right.
You don't necessarily think sensitive romantic.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
But he was all of those things.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
And this crush wasn't just some, like, fleeting thing.
Okay.
He actually worked up the courage to ask her.
To the dance.
To the school dance.
Oh, did she say yes?
She did.
Yeah.
She said yes.
Yay!
And it's just weeks before his accident.
Oh, man.
I know, it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Knowing that this, like, anticipation and excitement for this first date was just,
about to get, like, turned upside down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
And speaking of the accident.
Yeah.
It happened during a paintball game.
Oh, wow.
On October 29th, 2006.
Okay.
And his diary entries actually stop abruptly after he describes the start of the game.
Oh, gosh.
So it's like...
It's just silence.
Yeah. And it's like this silence is deafening.
Right.
Because we know what's coming.
Yeah, we know something's going to happen.
We don't know the details.
Right.
And we're left with this sense of anticipation and almost dread as we wait for the diary to pick up again.
Yeah, totally. I'm like on the edge of my seat. Like, when are we going to pick up again? What's going on?
I know. And we do eventually pick up again.
Okay.
But it's months later.
Oh, wow.
In February of 2007.
Oh, my gosh.
And now Jamie is at Crotch Mountain.
Okay.
And it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
He wakes up from a coma.
Oh, my God.
To find himself unable to walk.
Wow.
Or talk.
Oh, my God.
Or eat on his own.
Oh, wow.
He's relying on a tracheostomy tube.
Oh, gosh.
To breathe.
Oh.
And a G tube for feeding.
Yeah.
And he's facing this long and arduous road to recovery.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to imagine
Yeah.
what that must have been like for him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Waking up in such a drastically altered state. And his diary entries are just so meticulous.
Yeah.
He describes like the frustrations of waiting for breakfast, the struggle to communicate his basic needs, using a letterboard.
Wow.
And what's remarkable is that even in these really dark moments, his sense of humor shines through.
Really?
Yes.
Even when he's
going
through all this.
Going through all of this.
Wow.
He describes his frustration with this daily nurse's report.
Oh yeah.
As like this hilarious inner monologue where he's just counting down the seconds until it's over.
Wow. So he's still got that humor,
Yeah.
even in the darkest times.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it's moments like these that are really touching because,
Yeah.
Even in the face of this adversity, he's able to find humor
Yeah.
in these everyday things.
Right, in the mundane.
And I think that really speaks volumes about his character.
It does. It really does.
And this resilience really becomes a recurring theme throughout his time at Crotch Mountain.
Okay.
He really approaches the challenges of therapy head on.
Okay.
And he documents every single session with this incredible detail.
So, we got a real window into what that was like to be in rehab.
So, for example, we see him grappling with occupational therapy.
Okay.
Where he's working on his fine motor skills
Yeah.
with his occupational therapist, Joan.
Okay.
And then he's also doing physical therapy with Crystal,
Okay.
where he encounters the gait trainer for the first time.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It's a device that
Okay.
helps people learn to walk.
Right?
And he's honest about the setbacks, too.
Yeah.
He mentions this one time
Mm-hmm.
where he could only do 5 sit-ups
Oh, wow.
compared to his pre-accident stamina.
Yeah, that must have been really discouraging.
Yes, it was.
So going from, running 7 miles in hiking boots
Right, exactly.
to, barely being able to do 5 sit-ups?
I know.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah.
But, it sounds like he was pushing himself.
Yes. And he didn't give up.
Yeah.
He even quotes
Let's go.
that famous line,
Which one?
"The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step."
Oh, yeah.
And I think that really highlights his understanding
Yeah.
that progress
Yeah.
is gradual.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Exactly. And it's not about these overnight miracles.
Yeah.
It's about those little victories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just physical challenges that he's facing.
Right, because it's a
Right.
brain injury. It's not just the body.
Exactly.
It's the mind, too.
And he actually notes that his injury has affected his personality.
Oh, wow.
He mentions feeling more impulsive
Okay.
and having trouble controlling his emotions sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is a crucial aspect of traumatic brain injury that
Yeah.
I think is often overlooked.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, a brain injury doesn't just affect your physical abilities.
Right.
It can really impact your personality,
Yeah.
your behavior.
Yeah, your whole way of being.
Yeah, and Jamie's self-awareness
Yeah.
in recognizing these changes is really striking,
Yeah, it's impressive.
especially for someone his age.
For sure.
It shows a level of introspection.
Yeah.
It's,
Not common
Yeah.
for teenagers,
Yeah.
let alone teenagers who've been through something like that.
yeah, absolutely. And despite all of this,
Yeah.
he manages to find these moments of joy and connection.
Oh, good.
He forms a really strong bond with the staff
Oh.
at Crotch Mountain,
Okay.
particularly with his favorite LNA,
What's an LNA?
a licensed nursing assistant.
Oh, okay.
His name is Nick,
Okay.
and their relationship is so heartwarming. Nick becomes this source of support and encouragement
Yeah.
for Jamie.
It's like having a friend
Yeah.
while you're there.
Yeah, and he patiently helps Jamie
Yeah.
with these everyday tasks like eating.
Oh, yeah.
When Jamie's unable to do it himself.
Right.
And we can't forget about the hilarious prank
Oh, there's a prank.
that Jamie pulls on Nick.
What did he do?
He hides a heart-printed thong in a box of chocolates.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's so funny.
It's great.
So he's got that teenage boy mischief,
Yes,
even though he's going through all this.
exactly.
Right.
And I think it really shows that he's still a teenager at heart,
Yeah.
capable of mischief and humor,
Yeah.
even in the midst of all this.
Right.
And as his time at Crotch Mountain progresses,
Okay.
we really start to see him finding his voice,
Oh, wow.
literally.
Yeah.
His diary entries detail his work with the speech therapist, David,
Okay.
and he starts with simple exercises.
Oh, Oh, so like vocal exercises and stuff?
Yeah, like reciting words with increasing volume.
Okay.
And then eventually he's able to progress
Yeah.
to more complex communication.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So like it's a process.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating is that
Yeah.
speech therapy, after a traumatic brain injury,
Mm-hmm.
involves so much more
Yeah.
than just vocal exercises.
Right, because it's the brain.
Yeah, it's about retraining the brain
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
coordinate these complex processes
Right.
involved in speech production.
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it's really incredible to think about.
Yeah.
And he compares his speech therapy to paying penance at one point,
Oh, wow.
but he never gives up.
That's good.
And I think this persistence is key
Yeah.
to his progress.
Mm-hmm.
He understands that every small step
Yeah.
contributes to the larger goal
Right.
of regaining his independence.
Absolutely.
And beyond the therapy sessions,
Sure.
Jamie's diary gives us this glimpse
Yeah.
into the unique world of
Yeah.
Crotched Mountain.
Okay.
He describes the other clients,
Oh, cool.
their personality,
Yeah.
and the relationships that they form.
It's like a little community.
Yeah.
Like its own world.
It's like a microcosm of society,
Yeah.
where everybody's kind of
Yeah.
navigating their own challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And he even develops his own sign language
Yeah.
to communicate his needs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So he's coming up with like his
Yeah.
own ways to communicate.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Including a rather creative way to ask to use the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think this just shows
Yeah.
his adaptability.
Yeah.
He's constantly finding ways
Yeah.
to overcome these obstacles and communicate effectively.
When the traditional methods
Yeah.
don't work.
Yeah.
Wow.
And speaking of making the best of
Yeah.
a difficult situation,
Yeah.
he even finds love at Crotched Mountain.
What?
I know.
No way.
Well, maybe not love, but
Yeah.
he definitely makes a very close friend.
Oh, okay. With another client.
Another client, a young woman named Annabelle.
Ah.
And they form this amazing friendship.
That's so sweet.
And I think,
Yeah.
it's a testament to the power of human connection, even in the most unexpected places.
Right. You wouldn't expect it at rehab. But
Yeah.
I guess when you're going through something together like that, you bond.
Yeah, and they bond over these shared experiences.
Yeah.
They offer each other support.
That's so sweet.
And they even develop their own little inside jokes.
Oh, I love that.
And it's clear that
Yeah.
this friendship brings him immense joy.
Yeah.
He even risks getting in trouble
Oh,
to
no.
sneak into her room
Do what?
and give her a gift.
I know.
He's such a sweetheart. And I think
Uh-huh.
that gesture really shows
Yeah.
the depth of their connection. And it also highlights the importance of
Yeah.
social interaction
Yeah.
and friendship
For sure.
during the recovery process.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
feeling isolated and alone.
Exactly. For someone in Jamie's position,
Yeah.
feeling isolated and different,
Yeah.
that sense of belonging
Yeah,
must have been
Yeah.
invaluable.
so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And as spring arrives at Crotch Mountain,
Okay.
Jamie's diary entries take on
Yeah.
a more optimistic tone.
Oh, that was nice.
He's walking more confidently.
Yeah.
His speech is improving.
Good.
And he's even allowed to go on outings beyond the center.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's during these outings
Yeah, okay.
that we start to see him grappling with this prospect of
Yeah.
leaving Crotch Mountain.
Hmm.
And this is a really pivotal moment in his journey
I bet it is.
because, he's starting to envision a life
Yeah.
beyond the walls of the rehabilitation center.
Okay.
A life where he can re-engage with the outside world.
Yeah, like going back to normal life. But
Right.
is there even a normal life to go back to at that point? Right. That's the question.
Yeah.
But this prospect also brings this sense of apprehension.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It's like he's caught between this comfort
Yeah.
of the familiar
Uh-huh.
and the uncertainty of the unknown.
Yeah.
He's yearning to see his friends,
Mhm.
get back to some semblance of his old life.
Yeah.
But he's also apprehensive about leaving the structure
Right.
and the support system
Uh,
that he found
Yeah.
at Crotch Mountain.
Right, he's built a whole life there.
Right.
Like starting over.
Yeah, and this is something that, so many people experience after a life-altering event.
Mm-hmm.
It's this push and pull between the desire
Yeah.
to return to normalcy
Uh-huh.
and this realization
Yeah.
that life has fundamentally changed.
Right, because you can't go back.
Yeah.
You gotta go forward.
And it's this feeling of being caught between two worlds, neither of which feel quite right anymore.
Right.
And as Jamie's discharge date approaches, we start to see this conflict play out in his diary entries.
Okay.
And he begins to reflect on how his time at Crotch Mountain has changed him.
Right.
He's not the same person who walked through those doors months ago.
Right.
He's had to adapt.
Yeah.
Overcome these challenges he never could have imagined.
Yeah.
And this experience has inevitably shaped his perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, how could it not?
Yeah.
Like, that would change anybody.
Yeah. And he's starting to realize that going home isn't about simply picking up where he left off.
Yeah.
It's about navigating a new reality.
Right.
A new version of himself.
That's deep.
And it's this realization that really sets the stage for the next chapter.
Oh, I can't wait for the next chapter.
Of his journey.
Right.
And his departure from Crotch Mountain really becomes this symbol of both closure and a new beginning. It represents a transition from the intense structured environment of rehabilitation to this unpredictable, often overwhelming world outside those walls.
Yeah, he's going back to the real world.
Right.
Which is scary.
Yeah. And, he's saying goodbye to this place.
Yeah.
That's become like a second home.
Yeah, he spent so much time there.
Yeah. But he's also taking with him these valuable lessons about resilience and adaptation and the power of human connection.
Yeah.
And you can feel the love and support from the staff at CMRC as they shower him with farewell gifts.
Oh, wow.
Including a signed T-shirt and these heartfelt cards.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. And it's a testament to the deep bonds that he's formed during his time there.
It really shows the impact he had on those people.
Yeah, and it's almost like a graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
Marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of
Yeah.
another.
So what's next?
And as we leave, Jamie, at this really pivotal moment, poised on the threshold of a new life, we're left wondering.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
What will this new life look like?
Right, what's he going to do?
How will he navigate the challenges and opportunities that await him?
I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Right.
So Jamie leaves this super structured environment of Crotched Mountain and just jumps right back into high school.
It's crazy.
And he leaves on May 11th, 2007.
Okay.
Just days before his senior prom.
That's wild. Like, how did he even have the energy for that?
Right. After all that.
Yeah, after everything you went through. Like, prom is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Especially senior prom.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I think it speaks to the power of setting goals.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He had mentioned early on in his recovery that he wanted to go to prom.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that gave him something to strive for.
Yeah, a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
I like that.
And, it must have been so tempting to just say, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not up for this.
It's too much. It's too much.
I can't handle this. Especially with all the challenges he's still facing.
Right. His speech was improving.
Yeah.
But he still had to really focus on enunciating clearly. He could walk, but he needed help sometimes.
Yeah.
But, he didn't give up.
Good for him.
And he got to wear the tuxedo he had picked out before the accident. Cane and all.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's like he was reclaiming this piece of his pre-accident identity.
Yeah, totally.
And the way he describes the night
is
clear that he was determined to make the most of it.
Okay.
He even compiled this graduation video for Roxy as a gift.
Oh, that's so thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like even thinking about that. Right? He's going through all this.
While he's recovering, and he's still thinking of her.
Yeah, and thinking about this gift for her.
And it's such a personal gift.
It is.
Like he really put thought and effort into that.
It's really sweet.
Yeah.
And it's not just the grand gestures.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, he talks about like the limo ride to Roxy's house.
Oh, okay.
And how his mom thoughtfully provided roses for all the girls.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
But amidst all this excitement, there's this shadow lurking beneath the surface.
What do you mean?
Jamie also reflects on the challenges
he
faced that night.
Yeah.
Particularly this feeling of being an outsider.
Oh.
A ghost amongst his classmates.
Ghost.
That's the word he uses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What do you think he meant by that?
I don't know. That's heavy.
It is.
I think maybe he's trying to say that he like looks the same on the outside, but he feels different on the inside.
Yeah.
Like he's gone through something so big that's changed him, and other people don't see it.
Right. It's like he's invisible in a way.
Yeah, like a ghost.
And it really makes you realize that recovery from a traumatic brain injury is about so much more than just physical healing.
Right. You got to heal emotionally and mentally too.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And for Jamu, that process of reintegration included returning to school.
Oh yeah, he had to finish school.
He missed a big chunk of his senior year.
Yeah.
And while he was able to graduate with his class, he still needed to make up those credits.
Oh wow.
And so
what did he do?
He attended summer school and worked really hard with tutors to catch up.
And this is like while he's still recovering?
Yes.
Wow.
And what's really fascinating is how he reflects on his pre-accident self in this context. Yeah. He mentions that even before the accident, he had this tendency
towards what?
Toward hasty actions.
Okay.
And a headstrong nature.
Oh, so maybe the accident just like amplified those parts of it.
That's what it seems like.
Wow.
And you know, it's a good reminder that recovery isn't linear.
Oh no, it's messy.
It's messy. It's nuanced.
Yeah.
And it's a constant interplay between who you were and who you're becoming. And in the midst of all these challenges, Jamie achieves something really remarkable.
What's that?
He receives an acceptance letter from Colby Sawyer College.
What?
I know.
Get out of here.
And on top of that, he's awarded a $60,000 scholarship.
Oh my gosh, good for him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What a testament to his hard work and his perseverance.
He totally earned it.
Yeah, it must have felt like such a validation for all that work he put in.
All those hours of therapy and tutoring and catching up. Wow.
And, you know, reading those final diary entries from this period, you can just feel the emotional roller coaster. You know, he's going through pride, the excitement, the sense of accomplishment.
Like, he deserves to celebrate after all that.
Absolutely.
What a journey.
And it really is a journey.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful message of hope and resilience.
It is.
You know, a reminder that even in the face of immense adversity, there's always the possibility of a brighter future.
Absolutely.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Jamie's story, I'm left feeling incredibly inspired.
Yeah, he's like a superhero.
He kind of is.
Or like a super student or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, his honesty, his resilience, his unwavering determination, it's all really moving.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it really makes you think about what's important in life.
Absolutely, and it leaves us with so many questions.
Yeah.
You know, what were his goals for college?
Right.
How did his experience at CMRC shape his worldview?
Yeah.
You know, how did it shape his interactions with others?
I want to know.
You know, it's amazing to me that Jamie decided to share his story like this.
I know.
Like through his diary.
It's so personal.
Yeah, even all these years later.
Yeah.
It's pretty extraordinary that he was willing to open up.
Yeah.
And be so vulnerable.
Totally. And it really gives us this like inside look at what it's like to recover from a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, it's a side of recovery that we don't often see.
Right. Like we hear about the physical stuff.
Yeah.
But not so much the emotional and social stuff.
Exactly. And what's really striking is just how honest he is.
Yeah. He doesn't hold back.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
You know, he talks about the challenges, the frustrations, the setbacks.
Yeah.
He even talks about like the anger and the despair.
Yeah.
And the self-doubt.
Those are the hard parts.
They are the hard parts.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes his story so powerful.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, he's not giving us this like sanitized version of recovery.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Like you said, he doesn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, and it's like he's saying, this is what happened. It was awful.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let it define me.
Right.
I'm going to find a way to move forward.
I love that. Like he's not giving up.
And that resilience is really what shines through.
Yeah, it comes through in every entry.
Yeah. And he offers this really unique perspective on rehabilitation. He talks about the dedication of the therapists, the importance of support systems, and the challenges of trying to navigate a world that often just doesn't understand brain injury.
Yeah. People don't get it unless they've been through it.
And, I appreciate that he doesn't just, praise the therapists and the system.
Yeah, he's not afraid to be critical.
He's not afraid to be critical.
Which is good.
He questions their methods sometimes. He challenges their assumptions.
Yeah.
And he even pokes fun at them sometimes.
I like that.
Yeah.
He keeps it real.
Yeah, and it humanizes the whole process.
Yeah, definitely.
It shows that it's not about perfect solutions or magic cures.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah. And he also talks a lot about the role that his family and friends played.
That's so important.
In his recovery.
Yeah.
Their support.
Yeah.
Their patience. They were just instrumental.
I bet.
In his recovery.
Yeah, it takes a village.
It really does.
Yeah.
And we also can't forget about the bond that he formed with Annabelle.
Oh, yeah, his friend from Crotch Mountain.
Yeah.
That was so sweet.
It really was.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
they just had this shared understanding.
They got it.
Yeah. And I think for Jamie, who was, navigating this world, that suddenly felt so different.
Yeah, everything's changed.
Yeah, that connection was everything.
You bet.
And then there was Nick.
Yeah.
His favorite LNA.
Yeah, they were best buds.
They were.
Yeah.
And their relationship was so special.
Yeah, it was more than just patient and caregiver.
Exactly.
It was real friendship.
Yeah, Nick went above and beyond.
Yeah.
Providing Jamie with so much more than just physical care.
Right, he was there for him.
Yeah. And,
yeah.
We also can't forget about Jamie's sense of humor.
Oh, yeah, he's so funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Even in the darkest times, he finds a way to make a joke.
That prank with the thong.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, good.
Classic Jamie.
Yeah.
But, I think that humor was so important.
Yeah, it helped him cope.
Yeah, it's not about denying the pain.
Yeah.
It's about finding a way to cope.
Yeah, to keep going.
Yeah.
To find some light in the darkness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lesson for all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
And as we close our deep dive into Janie's story.
I know, I'm going to miss him.
Me too.
Oh.
I'm so grateful that he shared his experience.
Me too.
With us.
Yeah, his diary is a gift.
It is a gift.
All of us.
And it really challenges our assumptions about brain injury.
Yeah, people think you're either totally fine or you're
right.
Not there.
Yeah.
But there's so much in between.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think what struck me most was his observation that the accident changed his perspective on life.
Yeah.
He realized that you never have it as bad as you think you do.
That's deep.
And I think that's a really important reminder for all of us.
Yeah, to be grateful for what you have.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for joining me on this journey.
This was a good one.
It was a good one.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Me too.
And thanks to Jamie for sharing his story.
Yes, thank you, Jamie.
And to all of you listening out there, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.